Formula 1 returns to Shanghai, China for the third round of the 2018 season, but with still yet to be a clear frontrunner team yet to be uncovered. Every single team was out early in all 3 practice sessions trying to gather as much data as they can about the 2018 challenges, as 5 teams after the first 2 races look to be fairly evenly matched. All the teams want to try and build on the car they have and try and pull an advantage over their rivals in the coming rounds before a sure championship order emerges in the coming races. Williams look to have got their season back on track after Robbie Kubica would take the maximum available by winning the previous race out of Bahrain. However, Josh Cherry still looks to be struggling to get up to speed with the FW40. Haas are absolutely elated at the end of the last race, as coming into this round they're currently 3rd in the constructors standings, and to keep rapid development on their car, testing some new brakes throughout the sessions, and are most likely expected to run these brake upgrades on the car in the race. So the Red Bull looking for another difficult race, as the 1 kilometre long back straight here on the Shanghai circuit won't suit their Red Bull car, as the Cosworth engine still is without curves and Verstappen and Kvyat could struggle for race pace. Adrian Sutil was absolutely elated also after taking his first ever podium in 12 years of competition last time out. With upgrades on the Sauber, they were hoping for much more of the same here. Carlos Sainz starts from last on the grid, and Carmen Jordan makes it 3 for 3 and starting on row 10 as well. Yeah, Gasly could only manage 18th in the lead of the Toro Rosso Hondas, with Adrian Sutil only managing 17th in the second of the Saubers. A shocker for Hulkenberg, we see the German get knocked out in Q1, but a problem for Hamilton's car and his engine in Q2 halted the 2008 World Champions' progress. A strong lap from Rio Haryanto sees the Indonesian lineup in 14th alongside the lead Renault-powered car of Daniel Ricciardo. For the first time this season, Charles Leclerc starts outside the top 10 and outside of 7th place, lining up 12th, and defending world champion Jean-Eric Vergne wouldn't even make it in to Q3. It would be an all-Haas row 5, with Mick Schumacher in 10th and Lance Stroll getting the better of his German teammate by less than a tenth of a second to line up in 9th. For the first time this season, Kamui Kobayashi starts from inside the top 10, and he's joined on row 4 by Robert Kubica in the second of the BMW Williams. Sebastian Vettel was left flying the flag for Ferrari, who only managed 6th best. He's joined on row 3 by Pascal Wehrlein in the second of the Mercedes. Fernando Alonso starts from 4th as the lead Mercedes. He's completing the second row with Max Verstappen in the second of the Red Bulls. Daniel Kvyat starts from 2nd on the grid, and Josh Cherry takes his 2nd pole position of the season. Hey guys, Taro here. Welcome back to another episode of the UniONE career, this time round 3 here for the Chinese Grand Prix. So if you did miss the previous one, or indeed the first race, definitely go and check those out, because some pretty crazy races have happened so far for the start race of the season. Now then, Kamui Kobayashi starting from inside the top 10 for the first time this season. We know that Toyota does have some rapid pace, so starting inside the top 10 looks like this might be the race that Kobayashi has to do something with it, because it's with Hamilton starting down in 15th. Also, Jean-Eric Vergne, the defending world champion in the Ferrari, the defending constructor champion, starting from P11, although starting on the soft tyre, so it looks like he could be possibly trying to do a one-stop. I know that Ferrari does have some pretty good pace, so it could be a dark horse in the race. And also Rio Haryanto, this track seems to be his best on the calendar. He's lining up in 14th place, and that McLaren shouldn't be up in 14th place, so if you can keep out of trouble, then points might be on the board for Haryanto and McLaren coming into the race. And then coming back to us now, starting from our 2nd pole position out of the season, P1, with Daniel Kvyat alongside us, just like it was back to Australia. And we've got Max Verstappen in the 2nd Red Bull. And like I said, these Red Bulls, there's some pretty good one-lap pace, but then again, it's the races where they struggle, so imagine they'll be looking to try and make a good start. And then again, to how good Fernando Alonso always is, starts lining up just behind Max Verstappen there in P4. And now coming to the 5 red lights for the start of the Chinese Grand Prix. Lights out, and away we go. Can we get a good start from our pole position side? It looks like everyone's just smoking away in the grid. Okay, we're actually going side by side with the Red Bulls, and the Red Bulls got a mega start. And goes Fernando Alonso, where we get shut out wide onto the outside line. Can try and get around the outside. Alonso actually dives it up the inside, and when the Red Bulls get forced out wide. Again, side by side with Pascal Wehrlein. It's like there was a bit of contact there between me and Kubica and Pascal Wehrlein. We just now actually know going side by side now with our teammate Robbie Kubica. We're going to try and squeeze the pole out wide. Coming up now through turn 3, just managed to force out Kubica wide. We've gone from pole position down to what is this, P5, P6. Now coming into braking now into turn 5, and it's heavy in the braking there, sparking away now Looks like we just got another terrible start. So we're down to P5 now. We've got Sebastian Vettel in front of us in the front, so Vettel's had a good start up one place. Now going through the middle set of the lap, in qualifying and in practice, this is where I gained a lot of the time because I managed just to find a way just to fly through the second sector. You see we're gaining here on the back of Sebastian Vettel in that Ferrari. Then you've got the Merc of Alonso up in third, and then I think Kvyat, actually no, it'd be Verstappen in second. I think Kvyat's actually out in front leading the race. We've got Kubica all over the back of us though, so Kubica hasn't had the best qualifying in this race, but we've seen from since he won the last race that he's definitely no slouch in the race, and arguably could have won the Australian Grand Prix if he hadn't every time, and also run this mega right-hander, getting a mega run. The car just completely sticking to the track, and we can get a nice run here. Now Sebastian Vettel in that Ferrari, because the Ferrari isn't quite up to scratch in terms of engine with what our BMW Williams is. Now they're coming down this kilometre-long back straight now. Vettel goes defensively to the inside line, going to force us over to stay on the racing line. And we try and go around the outside of Vettel now under braking, we're just not quite close enough. Actually, Vettel's made it into a dive bomb up the inside of Fernando Alonso, so Vettel going for a defensive move. That's actually turned into an overtake from Alonso. Alonso just squeezes out the German like around the final corner now. Vettel's still all over the back though of Fernando Alonso now in the solution. Now see AMG Power versus Ferrari with solution, of course. No DRS though, and that's basically still the start of the third lap. Now Vettel's pulls the inside now. Fernando Alonso coming down now. Instead when Vettel's got the inside line, Alonso's going to try and keep it around the outside, use the downforce. Although we're going to try and stick a nose into the inside, we're just not quite close enough for Vettel still. He'll the inside line and then to the outside line and just makes his squeeze in front here off Fernando Alonso. So Alonso showing enough to turn his attention to actually defending from us. Actually like he's falling away a little bit now from Sebastian Vettel, so Vettel must have that engine turned up now, so that just try and gain some places. That Ferrari doesn't seem to be the best car in the world for what they've come up with so far this season, but we're still all over the back though off Fernando Alonso. We're coming through the sector of the lap now, the middle sector here. I don't really think there's going to be anything we can do to really try and make a move, to try and do anything about trying to get past the two-time world champion. We still got our teammate Kubica right behind us, so I think he was doing battle with Pascal Wehrlein down the back straight on the previous lap, so good job there that he's kept ahead of the German. And then Alonso is definitely falling away from Sebastian Vettel, so Vettel, like I said, must have the engine turned up because he's got the two Red Bulls pulling away, so imagine Vettel is going to try and want to hunt down his previous team of the two Red Bulls. As we actually go purple there through the second sector, which is actually representative since the cars in front of us have actually gone through the second sector before, so putting some good pace through the second sector, but now we're getting a lot of look at this. The car is absolutely on rails here around that right-hander. Now Alonso, sure he's going to be a sitting duck here now, going to turn the engine out to rich, now going to pull to the inside now. Off Fernando's, I'm not sure it can be BMW Power now versus AMG Power, and they're coming down into the hairpin on the inside line. Can we outbrake Fernando Alonso? Yes we do. They're coming into the hairpin, we're going to do slightly defensive. Alonso tries to switch back line, we've just got the line covered. Just get the traction out of the corner as well, but Alonso might be able to come back just now to come down around the final corner because still no DRS here. We can keep on our slipstream, turn up his engine. We're going to try and come back. It actually looks like we've got a better run than Alonso to the final corner. Yeah, we pulled massively Alonso there. So it's like the Mercedes still isn't the best car in the world in dirt here, but now we can try and chase down after Sebastian Vettel in front of us. Now coming up to turn one, we can try and make a move from Vettel. If we can try and get close to him, we can. Now coming through the sweeping corners here. So running out a bit wider, but still just trying to hunt down now after Sebastian Vettel. We're moving on to lap 4 now. Vettel's actually pulled away from us, so the tyres start to go off, so this Williams doesn't look like it's been the best in the world. On time, now coming now into the pit lane there for our first time race. We're now a bit wider, doing Lewis Hamilton for 2007, but thankfully there's no gravity up there for us to get stuck in. And coming into the pits now, we've got one of the Mercedes in behind us, and also one of the Toyotas, which has to be Kobayashi since Hamilton started down in P15, I imagine. Also didn't start on the set of the soft tyres. Now we're getting onto a set now of the soft tyres. For the first time, we've actually been held there for a Haas, and we've been held there for a Merc, and a Ferrari, and a Red Bull, and the Toyota. That's a horrible pit stop there from Williams. We just lost about, what was that, 5-6 positions now? And the irony of that is we've been held up by the BMW Williams B team car. I don't know which one it is. I think that might well be Schumacher as well. Can't quite tell from the helmet there, from that camera view. But all these cars now, we actually had about a second or so, maybe 2-second gap to that Merc before they came into the pit, so now we've got to try and hunt down now after Kobayashi this is in front of us on the set of soft tyres, so it looks like everyone else is here trying to stay trashy, but now moving a bit further in now, we've got Charles Leclerc here leading an absolute queue of cars. You know that Sauber is an absolute rocket ship in a straight line. Actually got one of the Toro Rosso Hondas behind, then the second McLaren of Carmen Georgia, I think that is, and they couldn't trying to actually, like, the Toro Rosso are actually trying to make a move now on the Sauber. It's in the new space, it looks like the Honda engine looks like it's actually working well here. China can make the move up this. I think that's Pierre Gasly there on Charles Leclerc, so definitely two drivers to watch out for in the future seasons. Actually now we've got the other Toro Rosso here. Carlos Sainz coming under attack now from one of the Mercedes. Let's make away with the inside, so as one Toro Rosso gains the place, the other loses the place, so the equilibrium is restored. Actually now Toro Rosso going to try and fight back though at the Mercedes, coming down now into turn 1. As he's under the car coming out of the pace, just before the runner, Toro Rosso has to slam on the brakes. Actually now we're going to try and go around the outside now with this Red Bull which just appeared out from out of nowhere out of the pit lane. Actually now we're going to try and go around the outside now, also have Carlos Sainz as well, trying to hide it out around the outside. Then turns the inside, we make a double overtake here. On Carlos Sainz we make a brilliant double overtake On 2 Red Bull backed cars, one of them the own Red Bull. Actually now here comes Danny Ricciardo trying to make a move on him as well. Going to pull side by side now with the Aussie coming down now. It's a Stoneform wheel banging there with the Honey Badger. Now we're going to try and hold it out around the outside of Danny Ricciardo, plant the power on the racing line. Ricciardo's going to try and hold it now up the outside line, which is then turned to the outside for this next corner. Because we've got the inside line, Ricciardo's going to try and hold it around the outside line, but he just can't hold it there. The Renault just doesn't quite have the downforce, and then also on soft tyres, which I'm pretty sure he would have started the race on as well. Now we're all over the back now. Sebastian Vettel getting very close to the gearbox there, because that Sauber up in front is going really, really slowly in terms of lap pace. We know they're mega down the straight line, but it's like Leclerc may have used up all his tyres already. It's just going so slowly here through the corners. So they see on the mini-map how much that time that Toro Rosso and the Mercedes have already pulled away. They get a horrible slide on, which you can now round his right hand, and actually there's a bit of contact with this, gets a bit of slide on as well, trying to find a way up the inside line, but this corner isn't really an overtaking place. But we still lost a bit of time with Sebastian Vettel with how slow that Sauber of Charles Leclerc's going. Actually, again at the back now, there's a whole battle of cars. Here comes Pascal Wehrlein, so they're going to breeze past the McLaren and also breeze past the Sauber now coming down into braking now for the hairpin. And Wehrlein moves back onto the racing line, so he's cleared the Sauber even before the corner. And Vettel there makes his way up the inside. Also, Karma Joy, the Renault engine isn't the best this season, and in the back of that McLaren isn't definitely going to be any match for the Ferrari. You know, the Ferrari also isn't the best car in the world this season. Now all over the back now, Karma Jordan, and Jordan is just going to breeze past the McLaren like it's not even there. Jordan put up a defence to the inside line. We're just going to breeze around the outside and keep on the racing line. Now they're coming now through turn 1. Still got Leclerc in front of Sebastian Vettel. I imagine that with how slow Leclerc's going on seemingly dead tyres on that Sauber, he's going to get the call through here to let Sebastian Vettel through, because Leclerc is a Ferrari young driver in the Ferrari junior team, so he's definitely not going to hold up the Ferrari 5-time world champion. Coming now into second sector, Leclerc so early on the brakes. So if we braked it on a normal point, we'd have completely rear-ended Vettel out of the race. So we have to go so early on the brakes, while just having to predict when Charles Leclerc's braking, almost braking really before Leclerc does. Now coming through the center, Leclerc's running out so wide, he's losing so much time through these high-speed corners. So we try to go around the outside of Sebastian Vettel, getting caught up here behind that Sauber Alfa Romeo coming now. And actually you go, Carmen George trying to make him back around the outside of us, going to try and hold him around the outside. I mean, fair play to George, he's been very sneaky, but we've managed to force out the Spaniard. And now coming now into the first sector lap, still got Sebastian Vettel all up behind the back here of that Sauber. Honestly, I'm surprised Leclerc just hasn't jumped out of the way, Sebastian Vettel. I imagine Vettel's face might be as red as his Ferrari car right now, being stuck here behind Charles Leclerc. Leclerc losing so much time with his right hand, actually slows the Vettel so much, actually moves to the inside. Sebastian Vettel made the move on the far side of jumping, even before we get to the DRS, because it's been held up that much here by Charles Leclerc. Now we've got DRS now on the back now of the Sauber. We're going to pull to the inside now of this Sauber. Now they're coming down now into the hairpin, and make the move and move back onto the racing line even before the hairpin. So yeah, Leclerc's not done any favours there for Sebastian Vettel. He's held him up for the best part of a lap, maybe even 2 if you count the previous lap as well. And actually he's held him up so much that we managed to make the move past him as well. Now already pulling away from the Sauber, and there's a huge lock up there from Leclerc as well. Runs off the track now. Sebastian Vettel going to try and make a move now around the outside. Straight now, coming down now into turn 1, because Sauber of Leclerc also DRS, and Leclerc's actually going to pull back in front of Sebastian Vettel. That Sauber is absolutely just a complete bullet in a straight line. This is going to be infuriating Sebastian Vettel now, I'm sure. Actually, this is absolutely really. I'm pretty sure now any chance of winning this race is completely gone. Actually, now further behind, you got bad here with Max Verstappen. Actually, quite funny coming out. You're actually in battle now. Actually, why? There's a Red Bull there on the apex of the track. Why is there a Red Bull completely stopped on the apex of the track? As Carmen George just lost about 3 places there, having to brake to avoid that Red Bull. So no fault of our own there for that. There's just a Red Bull absolutely parked in the middle of the track up in here. It's actually Daniel Kvyat in the Red Bull. I'm pretty sure Kvyat was actually leading the Grand Prix, or at least would have been in the net lead. Oh no, he's got a front right puncture, and he's going to do a whole lap with a puncture, so he pulls over out of the way. So he has pretty much pulled onto the racing line, so he should have gone to the outside of the track really. Now here comes the other Sauber of Adrian Sutil, which now actually takes the lead of the race, I'm pretty sure. Although he won't be in the net lead after he makes his stop. There goes Rio Haryanto. I think they ran the outside along with one of the Mercs there as well. Now then, actually, is that our teammate Kubica behind as well? Yeah, it's definitely our teammate. It's definitely us. We haven't got to Kvyat yet. And there goes the other Merc behind as well. Kvyat just absolutely limping around the track. So at this point, I think Daniel Kvyat's bound to 7 he completely runs off the track and almost into the gravel track. So imagine you can't really turn with a front right puncture and also keep out of the way. And that's just, and he just has to stop them. And John has to slam on the brakes. So it's not really a fault there of Daniel Kvyat, because he was running wide off the track. He had to stop there to avoid smashing into Charles Leclerc. Either way, that's what cost him a load of time. Moving on to lap 9 now. We're into the top 10, so we're still back in the points. Actually, got yellow flags here actually now up in front of us. Actually, what is yellow flags for? Someone go off in front of us. Actually, got Torres here. Pierre Gasly is the one in front of us. Actually, Gasly's going really slowly. Actually, no, Gasly's pulling off to the side of the track. Gasly, he was in P9 and was in the points position trying to get Torres' first place as we run out to absolute Narnia and back around the corner there, just trying to avoid somebody probably avoid down in the second who had no grip around that corner. And now then, that puts us up now into 9th place with Pascal Wehrlein. This car in front of us now, and Sebastian Vettel still the car behind us, and quite some way behind us now. The tyres are running out a bit wider, so it's definitely still got a bit of oil or something, some sort of moisture on the tyres. He's running out really wide. Actually, oh no, great, more yellow flags. What's going on for this yellow flag section here? And oh no, it's Daniel Kvyat. He's still limping round. He hasn't got back to the pits yet. That tyre is still absolutely just destroyed. And he's actually going to make it now into the hairpin. Actually, there's us actually making our way around. Daniel Kvyat there cuts the corner, but honestly, he's a lap down to us now, so I think he can get away with just a little corner cut there. Actually, there goes Sebastian Vettel trying to actually lap Daniel Kvyat now, and then one of the runners as well. Kvyat was in the lead of the race, and now he's going to be at least a lap down, maybe even 2 laps. How slow he's going. Actually, he's going to even make it into the pit lane, and he's just about made it into the pits. So now then, he's at this point he's pretty much a lap down to every single car in the race now. I'm pretty sure. So Red Bull, you can't recover back a lap. So is Red Bull just going to retire Daniel Kvyat? I mean, they might as well. I mean, they're going to change the tyre because that's his protocol to always change the tyres. Actually, no. They're going to send Daniel Kvyat back out onto the track. They're putting him on a set of the ultra soft tyres, which is the fastest tyre available. So imagine Kvyat's just going to go set some blindingly fast laps now. Maybe just use this as a test session now for Red Bull and Cosworth to try and develop their car for future races. Because any chance of Kvyat getting anything out of this race is completely gone. Now they're looking now at the one-stoppers following on board here with Haryanto, so all the cars here are started on the soft tyre, so it's like Hamilton's just in by front. So actually Haryanto's kept up with the Toyota of Lewis Hamilton and one of the other runners as well, which I think is probably Ricciardo. And they're all going to set up medium tyres, so soft to mediums for the one-stop strategy. So with Haryanto here, right up behind the back of Lewis Hamilton still pretty much. Haryanto might actually be on for a point in this race. Of course, with Daniel Kvyat out of the equation as well, that's a 3 place gain already, and Pierre Gasly as well. So that's 2 cars gone, which could take points away from Haryanto. So maybe he might even be on for maybe just the fringes of the points. But now moving on to all the way to lap 16, nothing really happened in the second stint for us after we got past Pierre Gasly and Daniel Kvyat. So now we're coming in now for our fast off race, running out a bit wider once again. Definitely not doing as much as Lewis Hamilton that time. Now coming on to braking now for the pit lanes. If you don't want to get a speedy penalty, we still got Sebastian Vettel right there behind us. He didn't manage to pull away that much from the German once he managed to get past him thanks to Charles Leclerc. Now coming into our pit box now for a second set of the soft tyres. A great pit stop there, this time from Williams, so actually there's no one to hold us up this time. We've got one of the Renaults there as well. If that Renault was just a bit close to us, then possibly could have held us up, because I think the Renault pit box is after the Williams one for this race. And it looks like there indeed it is. Now come back onto the track now. We're in pretty much a no man's land here for Renault. There's a car in front of us. Actually, is that Lewis Hamilton or is that Kobayashi? Can't quite tell. We've got Nico Hülkenberg now doing battle now with Adrian Sutil here in the Sauber. And Hülkenberg makes a move there on Adrian Sutil, but I know that Sauber is absolutely a rocket ship in a straight line. He might have to try and come back now. Nico Hülkenberg coming in and braking now. Actually, a huge rocket there though from Nico Hülkenberg into Tyre 5, but he just managed to keep it from there of the Sauber because he's on faster tyres as well. Although the Sauber is faster in a straight line, and imagine the Renault is lacking in straight line speed. That with the tyres it has on the soft tyres compared to the mediums, it should have the advantage to pull away from Adrian Sutil. But coming through the SS section now, we're just gaining so much time on the cars in front of us. Of course, all these ones here they're trying on one stop, and Hülkenberg, I don't know what strategy he's on because he's on a set of soft tyres. So he started in 16th place, so I don't know what strategy he's doing unless he started on a set of softs and hasn't pitted yet. So that's the only thing I can think of. I don't really think why you do a 2-stop from starting outside the top 10 when you don't have to. Looking up front now to our teammate Robert Kubica, and you actually got one of the other throws there. That must be Jean-Eric Verne. Now coming into space now, our teammate Kubica doesn't do a Hamilton and actually gets the corner correct. Now we've got Kubica coming in now for his second and final stop. Should also be up to a set of soft tyres, and surely he's not going to go to a set of ultras. With this one to go about another 11-12 laps of the race left, and the ultras only go about 4 or 5 laps. So with a set of soft tyres there for our teammate as well. Absolutely no one else in the pit lane to affect his pit stop. He's going to come back out on the train, and the question is whereabouts are we going to be? Actually, here comes Fernando Alonso. We're behind Alonso. Is Kubica going to come out in front of Alonso into turn 1? It's like Alonso is just going to come up behind a teammate, but Kubica actually on contact now. Soto's up the inside though of the Renault. Actually Hülkenberg's there on medium tyres as well, so there must have been a glitch with the cameras, because I'm sure Hülkenberg was on soft tyres before, but now he's on medium, so actually going to be all fair now between these two cars. Actually, you got a bit of national pride here at stake as well, and Hulkenberg just cuts in front there of the Sauber. Now Sutton's going to pull it around the outside now. Now coming around into 10th line, Sutton's going to try and hold it around the outside line, which will then turn to the inside and on the racing line as well. Have the gripping part of the track. You see the front wing there, Sauber's growing edge now. Sutton pulls in front now of Hulkenberg coming to the exit section. Hulkenberg's going to try and hold it around the outside line. And then Hulkenberg goes this line, Sutil just gets forced out of that, just doesn't quite have the downforce there on the Sauber. It's a mega fight, he's of course using the straight line of speed of the Sauber down the back straight and the start finish straight as well to use advantage over the Renault. And that's allowing the Toyota behind it then, that's in the background I think of the back of this queue of cars as well. But Sutil there, playing with a mega fight, of course, took his first ever podium in the last race, and we're getting a complete swap on there once again. Something about that corner and just putting power down doesn't really agree with this Williams all too much now. All over the back now, Lewis Hamilton making the pull to the inside of Hamilton, of course, will say a medium tyre as well, so he's not going to have the grip, the wheelie, but the straight line speed. Actually, oh my god, that tire's actually pulling back in front of us because we've both got DRS. Well, I thought this Williams was a faster thing in straight line, and pulled to the inside though of Lewis Hamilton now coming down into breaking over the head, but Hamilton gets so late on the brakes, and imagine you keep in front of us and get outbraked there by the 2008 world champion. He's proven there why he's a world champion, that's right, and with the much improved Toyota as well, maybe actually, I don't know if it gets some good result here, actually be able to in the championship fight as well. Come the next few races once the pecking order starts to sort itself out a little bit. But still, we're all over the back though of the Toyota. Now coming now into turn one, we're going to pull to the inside now of Lewis Hamilton now into braking now for the first corner, make the shoot away up the inside of that Toyota. Now all over the back of Adrian Sutil as the next car in front as well. Going to try and swing it around the outside line, and Hamilton tries to move back up inside, but he just managed to squeeze out our fellow Brit. And then we can try and gain out on the back of Adrian Sutil in that Sauber, because that Sauber is mega in a straight line, but we've seen if his tyres run out as quickly as what Charles Leclerc's did, then Sutil may well be an easy target in the next few laps. And also on to lap 19 and 20, so still got a fairly long time left to go in this race, and cutting through this now, gaining so much time here on Adrian Sutil. We've got so much more downforce on the Sauber. We try and look for a way around the outside. We just have to tuck back along those to find a way around the outside, because it's definitely not going as slowly as what Charles Leclerc did back when we were still behind him after our first stop of the race. Now then, Hulkenberg's actually pulling away a bit now from Sutil, and Sutil's going to more of a defense mode now from us than attacking Hulkenberg. Like Hulkenberg, although he might still just about being DRS range to Hulkenberg, it's not going to be any use now to clear him around this right-hander once again. Actually getting a good run, going to drive right around the outside of Adrian Sutil, not even waiting for DRS, because proving how much more downforce we have on this race compared to the Sauber. But actually the Sauber actually come back because we don't have DRS now. And yes we do, and that's, I mean, just actually pulling away now from Adrian Sutil, but that Sauber was just an absolute bullet in a straight line. I had no idea how it's so fast. I'm going to just back to like the manner in 2016, was just a complete rocket in a straight line, and moving a bit further on. Actually, it looks like our teammates now actually, is this our teammate? Actually no, this is making a move. I couldn't say when as it was, but now we've got past Nico Hulkenberg. We caught the German, actually made a pretty simple move. Imagine that's what you would with BMW power to Renault power. And the next car for us to actually make a move on will be Fernando Alonso, actually still keeping him just about within DRS range. It looks like there of our teammate Robert Kubica as they come now through the sweeping turn one. Alonso is gaining, but he's not really gaining all too much, so it's like the gap pretty much equidistant. Now looking up front, Jean-Eric Vergne in the Ferrari is currently leading the Grand Prix. Vergne's had a dismal start to the season, qualified in 11th. It actually looks like it's been a godsend for the Frenchman, and this is how far ahead he is of our teammate Robert Kubica in second. He's got the entire length of the straight and then a bit more over our teammate. Then we've got Fernando Alonso in the third, and I think we've got us now in fourth. They're definitely catching up, still sparking away though. Then we have Hulkenberg in the Renault in a great P5, given where we started out in P16. And then we have Hamilton in the Toyota actually coming under attack now from the second of the Ferraris now. Especially Vettel, who really hasn't had the pace on his final stage actually, because we weren't that far in front of him. He's losing quite a bit of time now to us. And we've still got a few of the cars that are trying to make a move through before we can get anywhere close to us. And then we've got Hamilton overtaken. Then we have the lead of the Saubers, which I think is still Charles Leclerc, is it? Couldn't quite see from that camera angle which one it is. Then we have the second Renault of Daniel Ricciardo. Then the sole remaining Red Bull of Max Verstappen is so far down the order, actually starting at medium tyres as well. It looks like he's probably run out. So actually, then we have the McLaren Renault of Rio Haryanto. I think he's in about, what, 10th place is this? So Haryanto, as it stands, is currently in the points. And then we have the second Mercedes of Pascal Wehrlein. What's Wehrlein doing all the way down the order down here? Then an absolute shocker. And then we have the lead Haas, which I think is Lance Stroll. And then we have Kamui Kobayashi somewhere down the order as well. So Kobayashi may have had a good qualifying, definitely hasn't got the race pace to back it up. And then we have the second of the Saubers, and it's like the second of the Haas as well, which we make Schumacher is gaining on the back now of the Sauber. Can't quite see which the Saubers that is. They're coming down into turn one. Naturally, it's Charles Leclerc. Leclerc's having an absolute mare of a race. It really hasn't had the pace to suit this track. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is his first time with the track, but then again, it's also Mick Schumacher's first time with the track as well, so it's probably explaining why these two far so down the order. But it's still going hammer and tongue out, over the battle for about, what's this, about P15, P16, so not in the points, but still probably definitely a stake there. Then we have the sole remaining Toro Rosso here of Carlos Sainz is in front of Carmen Jordan. These two, the Toro Rosso and the McLaren, seem fairly evenly matched because both have significant weaknesses, with the engine being the Toro Rosso and then the chassis of the McLaren. And then we have Daniel Kvyat still in the back of the grid. I'm pretty sure it is a lap down to Carmen Jordan as well. Moving on to lap 25 now, 28, so no longer left to go in this race now. And we've caught up finally to Fernando Alonso, who's actually dropped off from my team, so like the tyre on the Mercedes isn't the best. I know this Williams is absolutely mega on light fuels, given that me and Kubica have taken all three pole positions so far, also with two, Kubica with one. And now then with DRS now on the back now of Fernando Alonso, going to pull to the inside of the Spaniard once again, pretty much like we did early on in the race as well. We're going to breeze past the Mercedes into the hairpin. Thankfully Alonso doesn't try a banzai move back up the inside or anything. Of course, the experienced driver Alonso is not going to go for a move like that. And then see if Alonso can actually do anything about us now to get now into the podium places. Actually put up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix in the process, so we've got 3 laps of the race left to go, including this one that we're on. So if we can try and keep up some pace like this, and we might even be able to try and catch Kubica. Because Jean-Luc Vergne he's just completely gone on the one-stop strategy. So if you can make it work, the one-stop is the way to go. And with the Ferrari being a somewhat decent car as well. But now then, moving on to lap 28, we haven't actually managed to catch up to Kubica. So we've been gaining on him, but we're in pretty much a no man's land of our own. We've got about 2-second gap to Fernando Alonso in the back behind us. We've got Jean-Eric Vergne coming into the hairpin now for the final time, and no dramas for the defending world champion. Now they've only got one more corner left to go, unless he gets such a cool frame retires now, which could well happen. And now coming around the final corner, Jean-Eric Vergne coming on to the finish line, and Vergne wins the Chinese Grand Prix to make it 3 different winners in 3 races from 3 different teams. Now then, coming around the final corner now in second place. It's our teammate Robbie Kubica coming on to the finish line now. He's not going to blow up this time. Kubica takes a well-deserved second place after starting down in 7th. And we're still sparking away. And we take our first podium finish of the season. And hopefully this marks a changing point in our season. And we can definitely get on top of our consistency for challenge for our 2nd championship title. But our Riva Bani, they're looking absolutely ecstatic with Jean-Eric Vergne's victory. Imagining a very unexpected victory as well. And one that even probably Vergne didn't expect to take. He takes his first victory ever for starting outside of the top 10 and makes it the 3rd different winner in 3 races from 3 different teams. I mean, with the season looking as close as it is, could it even end up being 4 wins in 4 races next time out? Taking a look at the race results, and Jean-Eric Vergne would take the victory, 13 seconds clear of Robbie Kubica in 2nd. We ran off the podium for Williams as well in 3rd, so Williams 2-3. Fernando Alonso finishes where he started in P4, Sebastian Vettel in 5th, Hulkenberg with a good race to come home in 6th, and Max Verstappen, the sole remaining Red Bull, coming home in 7th. Lewis Hamilton finished the race in 8th with Ricciardo in 9th, so double point score for Renault, and Adrian Sutil rounds off the top 10 for Sauber, with Harry getting McLaren's first points of the season with 11th, and Pascal Wehrlein rounds off the point scorers, the dismal race for the German, only coming home in P12. Stroll would finish lead, Hassi 13th, but both Hassi would find themselves out of the points along with Kamui Kobayashi, after a promising qualifying to only managed 14th. Charles Leclerc, after his nightmare race, could only manage 15th, with Mick Schumacher down in 16th. Carmen Jordan finishing in 17th, getting the better in the end of Carlos Sainz by just a second, and Daniel Kvyat a lap down to every single car in the race, and Pierre Gasly with the only retirement. So now moving on to the driver's standings, and Robbie Kubica now takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship on 35 points, 5 points clear off Fernando Alonso in the Mercedes on 30, and Max Verstappen drops down to 3rd now on 29 points. Then come the 2 Ferraris, with Jean-Eric Vergne now actually in front of teammate Sebastian Vettel in 4th and 5th, with Daniel Kvyat dropping down into 6th. We move up now into 7th on 17 points, with Adrian Sutil in 8th on 17, actually we're on 20, with Sutil on 17. Then we have Lance Stroll in 9th on 15, Mick Schumacher running off the top 10 in the other Haas on 13, with Hulkenberg getting up into 11th, and Lewis Hamilton drops down to P12 on 12 points. Pascal Wehrlein finds himself down in 13th, 27 points off the championship lead after only 3 races. He's only 3 points clear of Daniel Ricciardo in the Renault. Kobayashi drops down to 15th on 5 points, with Charles Leclerc in 16th on 4, and Rui Haryanto gets himself and McLaren off of the block with 2 points, leaving only the Toro Rossos of Gasly and Sainz and Rui Haryanto's teammate of Karl Majorda yet to score. And finally, moving on to the constructors standings, and Williams now take the lead of the constructors standings, 4 points clear of Scuderia Ferrari, and Red Bull dropped down to 3rd after their nightmare race. Mercedes remaining 4th with 38 points, 10 points clear of Haas, who dropped down to 5th after their no point score, and Sauber currently in 6th place on 21 points, 3 points clear now of Renault, who are in 7th on 18, and jump ahead of Toyota after the first opening round. That such a promising result for Toyota, now dropped down to P8 only on 17 points. Then we've got a 15 point gap back to McLaren, who move up now into 9th with 2, leaving only Toro Rosso as the only team yet to score. So remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And check me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, they'll be linked down in the description. Also vote for your driver of the day with the poll link that will be in the description. Also remember to check out the wiki for this season, which is updated after every single race for all the teams, drivers, and if you want to have a look back at all the previous seasons, teams, drivers and whatever, that for that as well. So thanks for watching, I'll see you all next time.